Ladies and gentlemen, what you have been waiting for is this exciting keynote address this evening. All week we have been reflecting on the historic year of 1968, framing our discussions in the context of Dr. King's unfinished work and what the dream still demands. Our keynote speaker recently stepped down from his position of the North Carolina NAACP.
All right, folks, welcome to Roland Martin Unfiltered. On today's show, we'll talk about the Botham Jean killing in Dallas. 6 people have now come forward to say they heard the police officer who murdered him say, "Let me in." And that's not what you say, of course, when you're at your own apartment. We'll talk with Dallas pastor Dr. Freddie Haynes, of course, Friendship West Baptist Church, and also National Action Network. In Chicago, the murder trial of the cop who killed Laquan McDonald began today. We'll have a live report from Chicago. Also, the average black household income is virtually unchanged from 15 years ago, while white income is up to record levels. We'll talk with Howard University economist Bill Spriggs to break it all down. Also, last week, the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual legislative weekend concluded on Saturday with a rousing speech from the Reverend Dr. William Barber of the Poor People's Campaign. You must check out what he had to say. You know, black conservative columnist for the right-wing website, The Daily Caller, thinks Colin Kaepernick hasn't really sacrificed much. Wait until I school him right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And also, remember, we can say paint the Emmys black. We'll talk with Eric Deggans, a TV critic for NPR, about the Emmys and how they are doing so much better when it comes to people of color. And of course, all of us, this school could be very happy. I'm rocking their shirt today. Of course, I'll tell you who our HBCU Giving Day University is. Ain't hard to figure out. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Let's go.
Whatever the biz, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Put from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, yeah. Rolling with Roland now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best. Roland Martin. Martin.
Folks, over the weekend in Dallas, protesters, they were out with coffins to bring attention to the death of Botham Jean. Of course, he is the man who was shot and killed by Amber Geiger in his own apartment. You see the video there. Not pressures were a result. And so, again, they were carrying coffins for all the folks who were going to the game there where they played the New York Giants to show them that this story deserves to have national attention. Of course, Geiger has said that she and opened the door. She said she ordered him to show his hands and then she fired. But as story has changed left and right, we now know, according to the family attorneys, that no less than 6 people have said they heard her say, "Let me in," while knocking on the door. That's what's going on there. Now, of course, also, Dallas Police Department, they've been nailed over the weekend when they released the evidence report of what was captured inside the apartment, the police officer, as well as Jean. Well, the problem is we don't know what was in her apartment, but they released what was in his apartment, which including a small amount of marijuana. Yeah, we know this game. Us right now from Dallas is Dr. Freddie Haynes. He's the pastor of Friendship West Baptist Church, also with the National Action Network. Pastor Haynes, glad to have you here on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you for having you back on air. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. Let's get right to it. You've been one of the pastors there protesting what's happening there. Of course, Dallas black police chief, a black attorney, but it seems as if the police are doing all they can to protect Amber Geiger. When she shot and killed Jean, she was not on duty. It took them 3 days for an arrest to actually be made. And I have all things. Now we have them releasing the evidence report saying there was a small amount of marijuana in his apartment.
Right. And 3 days to arrest her. That meant 3 days to plant evidence if they wanted to. Reputation. 3 days to whitewash Amber Geiger, social media, as well as reputation. Amber Geiger has moved now. And so what I noticed is that there was being given this white police officer who killed this young African-American male. Not only that, Roland, really, Jack, it's last Thursday, you will know, that nerve, the throat was gone. The mother, the family, they are engaged in the homegoing celebration, and then they decide they're going to lynch the reputation of this young man by releasing. You know how it goes. We've seen this movie before, saying marijuana was found in his apartment, somehow using that to, again, begin the process of lynching his reputation. And so you mentioned the fact we do have a black police chief, but we also know that black faces in the same places that are not changed will not result in change. And so that's why we are challenging the police chief. We are not engaged in transforming stuff. And that's why yesterday at the protest, we called for the police department and the police chief to hold accountable those individuals who believe from about Botham Jean. We called for that. We called for the DA to push for murder. If you can indict a ham sandwich, they say, we want you to insist that this will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and be charged with murder. Because we all know if it had been reversed and Botham Jean had entered her apartment, shot her with that same lie and excuse, he'd be charged with murder, he'd be under the jail, and it would have happened on that day. We're saying to the black police chief and to the black DA, we do not want the same movie played, and we're going to protest.
Also, we know that Amber Guyger has moved out of that apartment. She's now living elsewhere. And again, she's free, and we still are asking these questions, trying to understand what the heck happened.
Right. And again, she's being protected. And as far as I'm concerned, preferential treatment means that no justice is taking place. And that's why yesterday I was so proud of the faith leaders who joined out of Jerry's world in order to stand and make a statement. Because again, this woman is being protected. We are not seeing the same kind of due process that would take place had the roles been reversed. And that is not justice.
I want to ask you this here as well. I'm trying to pull the story up where Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, made this unbelievable comment with regards to where she said, look, he criticized Beto O'Rourke for saying she should be fired. He said we should wait for more information, and then said this could have been a misunderstanding and we shouldn't destroy two lives. Last night, both dead. Amber Guyger is still living. And it's amazing to have for Ted Cruz to act as if that, well, her potentially losing her job or going to jail is having her life destroyed. Oh, she was dead.
Right, right. And again, Ted Cruz does not have a whole lot of credibility in the black community. He does not have credibility. I guess we can say about him what Donald Trump said about him, lying Ted. Because again, we're talking about a young man who is dead, a family where there's a mother